Hi guys, welcome back to PBTV. We continue our Delta Armory series by now looking at the Delta Armory's Alpha 15 ETU variant. So very excited to get one of these out in the field. Their initial sort of response from showing them on the range and everything like that is extremely positive. People are loving the response from these, the trigger response, the upgrades that are internally in the gearbox. How these things are sending BBs downrange is absolutely extraordinary. But as standard with these videos, we'll start at the front, work our way back, and then deep dive internally. So on the front of this, you will see a standard birdcage style flash hider. Underneath that, you can simply unscrew this and you have a 40mm counterclockwise thread. You can throw any of your normal accessories on there, trace units, suppressors, all that good stuff to make this thing unique to you. Coming back from that, there is a slightly unique looking rail system. We've got a couple of different attachment options on this. So we have M-LOK on the right, left and bottom. The grip is included in the box and it is attached directly to the M-LOK. There's no need for any extra rails or anything, and this can be moved further forward or further back depending on how you want to fit it. On the top we do have 20mm riz just at the back and the front. The top bit here is left blank, meaning this thing can be sort of over grip, C-clamped, however you want to do, nice and comfortable. Again, this is purely a weight saving thing. They've tried to make this front end as light as possible. The 20mm riz at the front is currently housing the front flip-up iron sight that can be deployed with just the press of a button. But again, you could take that off and throw any laser option or any different accessory you want on there. Again, same at the back. If you are wanting to bridge your optics across the receiver gap, you can do, but again, you've just got a little bit here. So if you want to put an optic on the receiver and your PEC box really far back here, again, all the options that you want, making this thing really, really versatile on the front end. Coming back to the receiver, and again, with the Alpha name in the title, it does mean that this has an aluminium receiver, and it is that angular sort of aggressive looking build that they've gone for. Really, really nice, and I think the aesthetic of it is really, really cool. Controls on this one, we do have the mag release on the right-hand side, which releases the 120 round mid-cap magazine. On the left, we have the fire control system, so safe, semi, and full auto. We'll go into his other options when we look inside, and the ping pong is just there for show, really. It doesn't really do anything. When you rack this back, you will find the standard, now standard rotary style hop unit that is included with the Delta Armories, and this thing will quite easily start hopping 2/8 a long way down the range. We do have 20mm rail on the top, so again, you can fit all your optics and your accessories there, but it does come with the button deployable rear iron sight. Again, it does have the peepholes on there, so you can change this for day or night versions, but again, it's airsoft, so it's iron sights. You're not really going to use them that much. The stock, slightly different to the standard Delta, so the standard Delta has the quite easily click off at the back. The ETU series has this much sleeker, slimmer, personally nicer looking stock. You will have to remove it to get to your battery compartment, which is the stock tube. With the ETU series, we are still recommending a 7.4 LiPo, and again, that is purely because of our power limits, and we do not want to risk any form of pre-engagement. But yeah, these things are totally fine on 7.4. Once you get one of these on a range and you start adding the settings that the ETU in here has, you're not really going to need that 11.1. So again, you can collapse this down into any of the 6 positions, meaning it's comfortable for anyone with, even myself with my gangly long arms. We do have sling points on the back as well, so we can 1 point on the sling loop at the back of the receiver, or we do have QD points on the stock if you wanted to do some form of 2-point sling. So internally with the ETU series, what you're getting for in the package for this is a fully sort of pre-built or pre-upgraded ready-to-go gearbox. So they've already done things like a CNC piston head. The piston has full steel rack teeth. There's various different parts that they've done internally inside that gearbox. 16:1 gears. You've got a tight bore barrel coming out of it as well, so you've got a 6.03mm barrel, and it's 365mm long as well, so it does keep that FPS nice around that 330 mark, 335. But when it comes to programming and when it comes to the ETU and what this thing is capable of. So obviously in the standard format of safe, semi and full auto, which we are all very, very used to, with the trigger you can change the settings of that and change it to pretty much whatever you want. So it does have burst options. This thing does have pre-cocking when you want it to. So what that means is, as standard, your piston sits at the front. When you pull the trigger, it winds back, lets go and fires the BB. What pre-cocking does is your piston sits at the back waiting to fire. So when you do pull that trigger, it's releasing and then resetting. So you do have an extremely fast trigger response, meaning you can get that shot off just a nanosecond faster than someone else, which can be the difference between hitting and not. You also have a binary option on this. So what that means is when you are firing on a semi-auto, it will fire and it will fire, it will fire, it will fire. So it fires on the trigger release as well as the trigger pull. Please be aware that a lot of sites do consider that as full auto. So if you're in a CQB site or you have some restrictions on full auto at some game sites, make sure you are allowed to use it before you set it up. With that being said, it is a much better version or better rate of fire than full auto. Personally, I think you get the same rate of fire down range, or you get the same effective fire down range without burning through probably double the amount of shots. But very, very impressed with the Alpha series, especially the ETU range. They are already moving very, very fast, and people are very, very impressed with them. So if you do want to get your hands on one and have a little bit more information, by all means, check the website out. There's loads of information on every single product, or you could come into store and have a chat with one of our staff, and they'll more than happily talk you through what this thing is capable of. But if that's everything for today, thank you very much for watching. This has been the Delta Armory's Alpha 15 ETU variant, and hopefully we'll see you again very soon. I'll catch you a bit.